what it's like to fight the weirdest animals on Earth. Hello, tiny friend. Have you ever wondered what it's like to throw hands with some of the strangest creatures in the animal kingdom? No? Well, too bad. Let's find out. Let's see who your first opponent is. Challenger 1, trap jaw ant. This ant only grows to about half an inch, so you'd think this fight is free. It is not. Trap jaw ants have spring-loaded mandibles that snap shut faster than almost any other movement in the animal kingdom. We're talking speeds that would make a hummingbird jealous, closing in a fraction of a millisecond with enough force to send you flying. Here's the twist. They don't just use those jaws to bite. If cornered, the ant can slam its mandibles into the ground and use the recoil to launch its entire body backward like a tiny ejector seat, blasting itself out of danger. A direct hit to the face is basically an instant knockout. Your best shot is catching it mid-lunge before the jaws fully close. Good luck with that. Into the collection you go. Challenger 2, hedgehog. Look at this little guy. Round, waddly, adorable. His attack stat is basically 0. He can't bite hard, he can't run fast, he's not going to chase you down. But his defense? Off the charts. The moment he feels threatened, he tucks his head and feet in and rolls into a tight ball, presenting nothing but several thousand keratin spines in every direction. Predators that try to bite or paw at him usually just end up regretting it immediately. He also has a bizarre habit called anointing. When he encounters a new smell, he'll chew it up and spread the frothy result all over his own spines. Nobody fully knows why. It's not going to help him win a fight, but it's deeply unsettling to watch. I hate to say it, but you've won this one. Challenger 3, daddy long legs. This harvestman has the most absurd leg-to-body ratio of any land animal, with legs that can stretch many times the length of its tiny pea-sized body, basically a walking tripwire. But those legs are incredibly fragile. If a predator grabs one, the leg detaches instantly, and the severed limb will keep twitching on the ground for several minutes afterward. A decoy that buys the daddy long legs time to escape while something else is busy staring at a dancing leg. Contrary to popular myth, it isn't secretly the most venomous creature alive. It has no venom glands at all, so really this fight was never that scary to begin with. Challenger 4, remora. These fish might just look like they're stuck to the side of a shark, a whale, or your boat, but remoras are actually built for exactly that life. On top of their head is a flattened, ridged disc that works like a suction pad, letting them clamp onto a much bigger animal and hitch a free ride across entire oceans. Speed round, some remoras will even ride inside a shark's mouth or gill slits, others attached to sea turtles. Historically, some cultures use tethered remoras as living fishing hooks, letting them latch onto turtles and reeling both in. They get free transportation, free protection, and they snack on scraps and parasites off their host's skin. Meanwhile, you're just being used as a taxi. Challenger 5, nudibranch. This sea slug looks like a psychedelic parade float, and it's about as slow as one too. So how does something this squishy and defenseless survive? It steals weapons. When a nudibranch eats a stinging jellyfish or hydroid, it doesn't fully digest the stinging cells, it shuttles them intact through its own body and stores them in the frilly projections on its back. Now, those stolen stingers fire on its behalf whenever something touches it. So technically, none of the weapons this thing is about to hit you with are even its own. Challenger 6, pangolin. The pangolin is the only mammal on Earth fully covered in tough, overlapping keratin scales, the same material as your fingernails, just stacked into a suit of armor. It has no interest in fighting you at all. It just wants to shuffle around at night, eating ants and termites with an absurdly long, sticky tongue. The moment it senses danger, it curls into a nearly perfect ball, tucking its soft belly inside and presenting nothing but scales. Predators with claws and teeth built for tearing flesh mostly just slide right off. The ultimate defensive maneuver. You cannot get a hit in here. Challenger 7, bombardier beetle. This beetle looks unassuming, but inside its abdomen it mixes two chemicals in a dedicated reaction chamber, triggering a violent reaction that heats the mixture to near boiling and blasts it out as a scalding, noxious spray, aimed with startling precision, including backward over its own body. The whole reaction happens in pulses, almost like a tiny machine gun, and the sound of each blast is an audible pop. You leaned in for a closer look. That was a mistake. Challenger 8, tardigrade. Tardigrades grow to a whopping 0.5 millimeter, so yeah, that's basically the entire threat assessment, but don't get cocky. These things can survive being frozen to near absolute zero, boiled, dried out completely for years, and blasted with radiation that would kill just about anything else by shutting down their metabolism into a nearly indestructible dormant state. You could theoretically stomp one and it genuinely would not care. Challenger 9, grizzly bear. Now we're talking. Grizzlies can weigh over 600 pounds, and their bite force is strong enough to crush bone with ease. Their claws, built for digging and tearing, are just as capable of shredding through hide and muscle. They're technically omnivores, but they will absolutely scavenge carrion when the opportunity presents itself. And they're not shy about defending a kill, a cub, or a good patch of berries. This is not a fair fight. This was never going to be a fair fight. Challenger 10. Naked mole rat. These wrinkly little tunnel dwellers look harmless, but they have a genuinely bizarre superpower. They barely age. Naked mole rats show almost no increase in mortality risk as they get older. They're remarkably resistant to cancer, and they can survive with very little oxygen for extended periods by switching their metabolism to run on fructose instead. Their two enormous front teeth move independently like chopsticks, letting them dig through soil without ever opening their mouths and swallowing dirt. This wrinkly grandpa could still be kicking your butt decades from now. Challenger 11. Elk. Male elk grow a massive rack of antlers each year specifically to attract mates, and during the rut, they'll clash antlers directly with rival males in shoving matches that can go on for a while and occasionally end in real injury. Most of the time, it's more display than damage, a lot of posturing, bugling, and thrashing branches to look impressive, but every so often, two sets of antlers get locked together and neither animal can pull free, which ends badly for both of them. Maybe waving a giant rack of bone around all the time isn't the safest strategy. Challenger 12. Alligator. Alligators are ambush specialists. They'll sit almost completely submerged with just their eyes and nostrils above the waterline, blending in with the murky water until something wanders too close. Then it's over in an instant. A lunge, a bite with tremendous crushing force, and a violent spinning maneuver used to tear off manageable chunks. For your best shot at winning, you'd want to catch one on land, sluggish after a big meal, though good luck finding one in a generous mood. Challenger 13. Assassin bug. The assassin bug doesn't bite so much as it stabs. Its sharp, needle-like mouthpart pierces prey and injects a cocktail of enzymes that liquefies the insides from the inside out, which the bug then slowly sucks out like a smoothie. Some species even disguise themselves by piling debris or the drained husks of previous victims onto their backs as camouflage. Charming. Challenger 14. Honey badger. The honey badger has a reputation as one of the most fearless animals alive, and it's earned. It will go after venomous snakes, scorpions, beehives, and porcupines without hesitation. Its skin is thick and loose enough that it can twist around inside a predator's grip and bite back, even mid-attack. It's also been recorded surviving cobra venom that would drop most animals cold, going unconscious for a bit, then getting back up like nothing happened and finishing its meal. There is no strategic advice for this fight, just run. Challenger 15. Electric eel. Despite the name, this isn't actually an eel, it's a knife fish that generates electricity using specialized cells stacked along most of its body like tiny batteries wired in series. A strong discharge can hit several hundred volts, enough to stun prey, deter predators, or make a grown human's muscles seize up. When hunting, it can curl its body to concentrate the shock directly onto a target, and some have even been seen leaping partly out of the water to press the charge straight into a threat on land. You didn't even touch it yet, and you're already regretting this. Challenger 16. Platypus. The platypus already breaks the rules by being an egg-laying mammal with a duck-like bill it uses to sense electrical signals from prey underwater. But the real surprise is hidden on the male's hind legs, a sharp, hollow spur connected to a venom gland. The venom isn't usually deadly to humans, but it delivers pain intense enough to cause swelling that can last for weeks and often doesn't respond well to normal painkillers. This one looks cuddly right up until it doesn't. Challenger 17. Tasmanian devil. Pound for pound, the Tasmanian devil has one of the strongest bite forces of any living mammal, capable of crunching straight through bone. When multiple devils feed on a carcass together, things escalate fast with loud screeching, shoving, and snapping that sounds far more dramatic than the fight usually is. They're mostly scavengers, but they'll happily hunt live prey too, and they are not shy about defending a meal from anything that gets close. That screech alone was enough to make you reconsider this whole encounter, and that's the collection complete. See you next time.